Hey, good day, good afternoon, and wherever you are in the world. My name is Marcel Hyde, channel Marcel Mindset.
One, two, three, four.
I want to remind you guys, please hit that subscribe button below, hit that notification bell, because these are episodes that you don't want to miss out on. For those of you out there, if you're lacking in faith, you're lacking in hope, God is there for you. God is willing to guide you and lead you and direct you. Hello, world, and welcome to another episode of Marcel Mindset TV. This is episode 7. We are growing slowly. Each and every day, we're putting the work in, and that's what it takes. You want to reach success in your life? You got to put the work in. One day at a time, one foot after the other. You get knocked down, you get back up. This is episode 7. So remember, if you do not want to miss these episodes, click that subscribe button below. Click the like buttons. Let's get this worldwide. And subscribe to the channel. So when things come out, new videos come out, it goes right into your inbox and you do not miss this valuable information. Today's choice of water, I have Flow. All right, sipping on Flow. Okay, so shout out to Flow. Alkaline water, it's pure, it's good. Check out Flow. Episode 7. Oh, wow, we've come so far. So today on the show, we have a very special guest. This one is close to my heart. I've known this guy for a very long time. I was on the hardwood with this guy. I was on the dance floor with this guy. I was in the study hall room with this guy. We did all of it together, man. This guy has humbled me, has made me a better person. And I'm honestly, truly proud to say I'm friends with this man. So I'd like to welcome episode 7, William Caesar. What's going on, Will?
What an amazing introduction. Thank you so much, Marcel. Thank you for the well-respected and genuine words. Right back at you, my guy.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. So welcome to the show. Again, I just spoke to you earlier. He had client after client after client. I actually had the opportunity yesterday to stop in to where this gentleman is working, and he's doing big things out here in the city. And I believe that this man right here is next up. So you want to ensure that you're booking time with this man because he's going places. So for the audience out there, I know you well, but who is William Caesar? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh boy. Yeah. Thank you, Marcel. Thank you again. Thank you again. First of all, it's truly a pleasure to be here. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time this evening to have me as a guest on your amazing podcast. You know, I saw the first 6 episodes and I love what you're doing. I really love what you're doing. So keep it going, brother. Keep it going.
Thank you.
So to get things going, I'm a young, hardworking healthcare professional. I'm a physiotherapist, former university and semi-pro basketball player as well. Mainly, I work in the sport physio world, but I do almost everything in that regard. Grew up in the Jane and Finch area in Toronto. Now I live in Markham. And by the grace of God, played university basketball, played semi-pro, like I mentioned. Went to a few places for undergrad, as you know.
Yeah.
Finish off in my bachelor's of kinesiology, of science and kinesiology at the University of Prince Edward Island.
Right.
With a minor in psych and food and nutrition, a double minor, excuse me. Then I did my Master's of Science in Physiotherapy in Manchester, Manchester Metropolitan University in England. 2-year master's there. And I'm back home now, working as physiotherapist director at Push Pound Sport Medicine at our second location, actually.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And congratulations to you, because one thing I've noticed about you and what you're saying is you've been to so many places, you've gone through so many experience, and now look where you are today. So it just shows me, without you even saying it, that you never gave up on yourself. You kept going. You got knocked down. You got back up. So hats off to you, my friend, for doing that. So I know you mentioned that you went to Manchester, right? So a lot of people, a lot of Canadians want to go overseas, right? They want to either go to school for overseas or they want to play overseas. So my question to you is, what was your experience like attending school in England? And would you recommend this for kids here or people here in Canada?
100%, 100%. It's not about where you go, it's about how you finish and how you end off, right? So I do recommend it highly. You learn a lot about yourself. You start to enjoy your own company. You don't rely on people. You get to travel the world at the same time at a reasonable price as well, because once you're in the UK or Europe, it's pretty easy and feasible to get around.
Right.
And like I said, it teaches you a lot about yourself, and you enjoy your own company, and you learn daily because you're in a different country, different time zone. You're adjusting to different cultures, different accents. So you learn, I call it neuroplasticity, right? The brain has 1 billion neurons. Half of them are unconnected within the brains, excuse me. So you're just rewiring, connecting, and just getting out there, getting active, and just learning daily, mentally, physically. So I definitely recommend it.
Right. So William's recommending, if you're stuck, you're thinking maybe I want to go take some schooling, in another country, that's a good option. It's something that's going to open your mind. It's going to grow you as a person. So for those of you on the fence about taking that leap of faith and going out there, go. You'll grow. And it's all about growing in this life. So physiotherapist, that's a big title. That's huge. So I know you work with a lot of athletes. We had mentioned sports. So athletes, right? So, you've seen it all. You played at the semi-pro level. You played at the collegiate college level or university level, and you played in high school. And guys, this guy's being humble. This guy was the top 10 player in Toronto, Canada. And if we had world rankings or North American rankings, he'd be up there. He's being humble. He's being very modest right now. But this guy was one of the best players I've seen touch a basketball. He just had that killer instinct. He had that determination. He had that will. He had it all. He was a full package. So I know you know what it takes. So what advice do you have for athletes that want to play at the next level, whether it be college or even professional, because you've been on both sides?
Oh, wow. Well, thank you again. Thank you again. You're making me sweat with all these compliments.
True, brother.
Thank you. But no, amazing. To answer your question, I could go. So we might have to set a 2-hour time extension on this podcast. But I'll keep it short. Start at demeanor, having a good demeanor on and off the court. Both you and I, both of our parents were in our lives, right? I remember your dad at our games, at our practices.
100%.
Never really show bad body language, bad body something. He'll cue us. He'll shut that down, right? So having good demeanor, that goes a long way in life as well. And being able to listen, having the ability to adapt under pressure as well. That goes a very long way as well too. And just being coachable, because doesn't matter if you're the first guy, if you're the starting PG or you're the towel boy or whatever the case may be. It's just about being coachable. You never know when it's your time, and just staying ready, doing things that people don't see. That goes a long way. We live in a social media world now where people like to do things for the gram and social media. So doing things when people don't see, that's when the results really show.
Wow.
And being coachable as well, and being able to listen, because like I said, you never know when it's your time. So
exactly,
the ability to adapt and listen on the fly, that goes along, and people take notice of that as well. Yeah. And as you know, I'm gonna go sports science now. Yeah. I tell all my young athletes, go to bed, go to sleep, get 10, realistically, 9 hours of sleep.
Yep.
Realistically, the research shows 11 to 12, but that's really hard. So try to get 9.
Right.
You know, your chances of getting injured are greatly reduced. You're waking up feeling more energized. You have more blood circulation, right? So
Right.
you're actually more flexible as well too,
Right.
and more agile. So being disciplined, having a strict time, a strict diet, getting good nutrition, good sleep. That's
Right.
what those are small, soft skills and easy skills to attain and require to become successful and make it to the next level.
Yeah. I like that, brother. Thank you so much, because we're going to have a lot of athletes watching this, right? Guys that are in the gym training daily to make it. Because I know at one point you were in there 5 a.m. in the morning, waking up, putting up your jumpers. So there's a lot of athletes out there that really want to make it. So I'm hoping that this channel can provide them that information where they're like, you know what? I'm going to try and be more coachable. I'm going to have better body language. I'm going to try and listen. I'm going to try and adapt more. You know, I'm going to stay disciplined. And when people aren't watching me, I'm still going to go hard.
And
key stuff, my brother.
And thank you. And with that being said, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Kobe the Bean Bryant. He was in bed early. He has his full family, lovely family, but he still managed to go to bed early, wake up early, get his workout in when people were coming in. And as a sport physio, I had great mentors in my life. Ralph Manning, may his soul rest in peace. Dr. Lamb, the owner and of Fitzgerald, Thomas Lamb. Great mentors in my life as well too. That gave me a wicked opportunity. And with that being said, I played a very, very small, not even played. I had a small chance to opt to a small window to watch guys like Dwight Powell recover from his Achilles surgery. Guys like Andrew Nicholson get bigger and stronger. These are millionaires, basketball players. Right. They don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. to rehab or to work out, but they do it because they know what it takes to be great. And at the end of the day, it's not about money. They're doing it because they still have the love and the passion. So I remember one day when I used to work at Fitz, before I accepted the director of physiotherapy role position at Push Pounds in Greektown, at our second location. We used to have early training sessions or rehabilitation sessions with Dwight Powell. I'll get there for 5:30, 6 a.m. in the morning. Dwight Powell's already finishing up his activation routine as well, drenched with sweat. And this is a guy, like I said, he just signed a max deal. He doesn't have to do this, but he's doing it because he wants to. Exactly. He has a passion to it and he wants to be better.
Right. So, yeah.
Guys
so that's what it takes, guys. That's honestly what it takes. It takes that next level of work, that next level of dedication. And you, like William said, you got to have that passion and that love, because when times get hard, if you get injured, you're going to go through the rehabilitation to get back on the court. So I know that you've had this journey, and, you know, along the way in this journey, you've learned so much. And I can just tell based on how polished you are now and the position you're in and the position you hold and the trust that, you know, Push Pounds has given you. So, you know, on this channel, Marcel Mindset TV, we really want to provide value to people out there. So what are some things that you learned on your journey that has helped you that you would think would help others?
What am I doing now? I'm listening.
Yeah, right.
Being able to listen. being able to listen. Yeah. Too many times growing up, guys will be speaking over coaches, speaking over parents, and not listening. So having the ability to actually listen, not making it go in through one ear and out the other, making it go into and staying and process it. So being able to listen is definitely a major aspect, is a major key aspect for in that sense as well too. Right. And sorry, repeat the second part of the question for me.
It was just basically, what are some things that you learned on your journey that has helped you, that you think would help others?
Yeah.
Because you've learned so much. You've been through so many experiences, brother. So there's something that you have learned that you could give our audience. You know, for me, it's just like everyone's going through something. So I always am nice to people because everyone's going through a battle. Everyone's going through some challenge. So be nice to people. That's one thing I learned on my journey and on my road. And another thing I learned is you can learn from everyone. Everyone has an experience that you can learn from. It doesn't matter if they're an NBA player, if they're the garbage man, if they are wealthy, if they're the homeless person. You can learn from every single individual. So my question is to you, based on your journey and your experiences, what could you share to the audience out there that you've learned that you'd like them to kind of embrace for themselves?
Yes, 100%. Like I said, being able to listen, I already elaborated how important that could be.
Yeah.
And like you said, I agree with you, and I do the same thing every day. Just being nice to people, saying good morning to people when they walk by. You never know who that person may be, or you never know what they're going through as well. That could be the icing on the cake. Behavior, right? It could go a long way. Nowadays, we're battling through mental health issues. A lot of depression, a lot of anxiety nowadays. So just doing those soft skills, those small things, that goes a long way.
Yep.
When I was in England, I just randomly said hi to people in the morning. It led me to almost being on the team Great Britain national team during the Commonwealth Games as a physio, just by a simple hello and good morning.
Yep.
So just being approachable. That's a big one to take away.
Right. I love that.
Be approachable. Just have a warm smile on your face, and just showing that you're genuine. Those soft skills go a long way.
Right. I love that. I love that, guys. Being approachable, being genuine, it really goes a long way. And it goes to show the little things could be so big. It could take you so far, just the little things, like William said. So I want to transition to mindset, because my TV is all about mindset. And you got this mindset about you. Like, your mind is set on what you want to do. You're going to make sure you do it. You're willing to go through whatever it takes, because your journey, like, people don't understand the half of what you went through. But your mindset was like, you know what? I'm going to get through this. So you have this winning mindset. So my question is, what does mindset mean to you? And how were you able to keep a strong mindset throughout your journey?
Mindset means to me not giving up.
Yep.
Not giving up, having a strong mental toughness. And for me, that came from my parents. That came from my dad and my mom.
Right.
Growing up in 10 Tomory Drive, 3 brothers, 2 sisters,
yep.
in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Right.
I see my dad wake up and grind every single day. I seen him selling his car and taking the bus to work just to save up to buy a house, to move out of Tomory, and small things like that, while holding down the fort with my mom, with his mom, with his wife, my mom as well, to get us out of Tomory as well. So I was living in and like I said, a 2-bedroom. Me, my sister Cara, my sister Rochelle, my young brother Nat, my older brother Kareem, that would be in and out, because he was, as you know, he was a basketball field himself. So he was in the States at the time. So, but for the most part, we were bunched up in that one bedroom, right? So just having the ability to, not giving up. Everyone gives up down the road in one particular thing, or a few particular things, but just having that strong mindset to say that you can't give up in something, you can't give up in your passion. It could turn to another passion as well too. That's what that means to me. Yeah,
I love that, man, honestly. And shout out to your whole family, man. They're great people, and your dad gave you that never give up mentality, your mindset, willing to sell his vehicle so he could save up for his family, work each and every day. And you had that mindset, that winning mindset. So I know you mentioned Tobermory. Shout out to Tobermory. Shout out to Jane and Finn. Shout out to the whole Toronto, because this podcast resides in Toronto, Canada. Shout out Markham, GTA, everywhere, right? So do you think growing up in Jane and Finch, Tobermory area plays a role in who you are today?
100%. This, what I do for a living now, is a luxury.
Yeah.
I'm working in the air conditioning room. I have my own office.
Right.
I have nothing to complain about. So definitely it teaches you resiliency. It teaches you how to be a better person. It teaches you how to wake up and just be grateful for what you have in front of you. It teaches you who's real. You learn how to adapt. It teaches you social skills.
Right.
teaches you not to be naive, where I grew up as well too. So I'm not saying you always have your guard up, but you know when to have your guard up.
Yeah.
So it teaches you how to translate from being in a professional environment and from being in a non-professional environment.
Yeah.
So yes, I would never, I don't regret where I'm from. I tell patients where I'm from,
Right.
and rub some of them in the wrong way, but
Right.
you can't be ashamed of who you are and where you're from.
Yeah. I like that. I love that, man. Don't be ashamed of who you are and where you came from, because that experience has shaped you as a person. The adversity has shaped you. You know, it's made you had to become more sharp. You know, so don't be afraid of the environment that you're in, you know, and don't let the environment that you're in hold you back from getting to the places that you want to get to in this life. You know, you can start in whatever area. It's not about where you start, it's where you finish and where you're going. So let's transition. You're a physiotherapist, long journey to get there, but you're officially a physiotherapist. So for our audience out there that, you know, maybe they want to get some training in with you, or they want to work with you, or they just want to get a little bit of knowledge or information, what are the benefits of someone working with a physiotherapist?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Plenty of benefits. First off, you're working with someone that possibly got injured in the past. So they know how to deal with injuries and firsthand, because it happened to us, most of us personally. So we persevered through it. We learned not just about getting hurt, we learned the soft tissues involved getting hurt, the science, the biochemical science involved with getting hurt, the chemistry, the pathophysiology involved with getting hurt. Right. So that you have someone that you could relate to. Having someone that you could relate to goes a long way in this life. Yep. You have someone that you build a good rapport with as well too. So there's so many benefits, and just having someone that you know that you can rely on. You know that, you know, you have your time slot with them, whether it's 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour, but that's the time that you could just trust in, not just a healthcare professional, but trust with someone that's been in your shoes before.
Right. Yeah.
And that's half of the battle in someone's recovery as well too. That's half of the treatment session right there too. That goes a long way for that person. So there's so many benefits from mentally, physically, emotionally, and socially as well. Right.
So like William said, there's a ton of benefits from working with a physiotherapist. And at the end of the show, we're going to let them know how they can contact you and how they can get started today, because you don't want to miss the opportunity today to get started with William. So we're going to transition a little bit to money, right? Like, obviously, money is a topic that, in my opinion, is kind of neglected in our educational system. So a lot of our knowledge of money may be our own knowledge that we obtain through Google, YouTube, or information that we may have received from friends or family. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of high school and a lot of college and a lot of adults that are watching the show. So obviously going to school costs money, you know, patients paying money. So you're in that money mindset. So what advice do you have for a high school student about money?
Oh, wow. This is deep, because as you know, the high schools that we went to, they didn't teach us nothing about finances or money. Right. So to answer your question, funny, I was actually talking to my girlfriend about this a week ago, I believe. Right. Building your credit. How do you build a good credit? Right. Getting a credit card early. Right. Pay it on time, and not paying just a minimum balance, because that's what's called interest. You're only paying the interest. Right. Paying the entire balance, a monthly balance, not just minimum, and even putting $5 over it. If it's 100, put 105, put 110. That's how you build your credit rating. So having good credit, your credit is your name. The schools didn't teach us that. By the grace of God, my parents, my dad and my mom taught not just me, all my siblings, on how to build a good credit, how important having good credit is. That's within your name. Right. Truth behold, yes, I was on a semi-pro basketball scholarship in England, but the second year I didn't play because my studies were too demanding as a physio in a master's of science program. So what I had to do, I take a line of credit. How did I qualify for the line of credit? I had good credit. So if I didn't have good credit, I probably had to get a co-signer. But if that was the case, I may have not been able to continue my studies. Exactly. So something, a small example like that can teach a lot of listeners and a lot of young youth in our community as well and beyond
Right.
our community.
I love that, because a lot of younger kids, they get a cell phone and then they don't pay the bill and they don't realize that they mess up the credit. Yet they're saying, "Oh, I'm going to be a millionaire," or "I need to worry about that. It's only $50." But then when you want to go and apply for a line of credit, like William said, maybe you don't qualify, and then you don't have a cosigner. Maybe your parents can't cosign for you. So credit. Thank you for that advice. So on this channel, we try to help people with passion, because you got a passion for what you're doing, man. You got a big passion. You have a love for what you're doing. You're dedicated. You're committed. You live it. You breathe it. So I know you got a passion for it, because our conversations are around it. So how does someone, because a lot of people are lost, how can someone find their passion?
That's a very deep question. That's a very deep question. How can someone find their passion? Wow. It's about, I tell my patients, it's about waking up, and I ask them, why do they wake up?
Yeah.
Some say to play basketball, to put money on the table, to do something within those means.
Yeah.
To get healthy, to get better. I said, that's your passion. I asked them if that's your passion. It is my passion. I said, okay, then it's your passion. Turn that passion into a skill. Turn that passion and skill into a job. Turn that passion, skill, job into a career. You see it going, you see how it's escalating too. So how can someone find their passion? So to answer the question, just waking up and ask yourself, why are you waking up? That's your passion right there.
Right.
It doesn't have to be in the sport environment. It doesn't have to be in the financing environment. Or it doesn't have to be in any kind of realm. It's just about what wakes you up, and you just go from there.
I love that, man. Thank you for that, because there's so many people that are saying, especially the millennial Gen Z, I don't know my passion. I don't know what I'm passionate about. So you just gave that value. You just gave that knowledge out there. So that's how you find your passion. So I want to kind of wrap things up a little bit, kind of conclude the show here. So the final question I have for you, because, I think we've all reached this point where we're like, that's it, where we're playing basketball and we know this is the end of the road. We got to, put the sneakers in the locker, tie it up. Some people struggle with that. And we know some guys, you see them and you ask them at 40, what are you doing? Oh, I'm still training. But like, what are you training for? Like they kind of didn't get it that, now's the time to put it away and try something different. So I hope this can help some people out there, because I know we're going to get a basketball community watching this, because we're both former basketball players. When do you know when it's time to give up on your dream? Because we all have that dream as basketball players to play in the NBA or college or our high school team. So when do you know when it's time to give up on their dream and try something else?
Wow. When do you know? Sometimes, for me personally, it was a traumatic experience for me.
Yeah.
It was my second ACL tear against St. Mary University when I was at UPI in our playoffs with 3,500 people.
Yeah.
When I tore my second knee, I knew that was it for me. Time to focus on my studies, even hard to get into physio school. So for me, it was a traumatic experience and a tough experience and a tough time to deal with. But for someone else, just an audience or a fellow basketball player, when it's time to give up on your dream, just being realistic with yourself. It's not necessarily giving up, but how could I turn plan A into plan B? That's all.
Yeah.
It's not even giving me up completely.
Right.
More so, how can I back off? How can I slightly back off, or what we say, fall back, right? How can we fall back and then get back into it, but get back into a different lane?
Right.
And the same destination, but just a different lane.
Yep.
So for me, that was my lane. My lane was physio. Someone else might not be, it might not be physio, right? But it may be something else along those lines, where you could still help people. You could still put a smile on someone's face. It could be becoming a real estate agent, sell a home to a basketball prospect, right? Or teaching them about finances. You could go into accounting, excuse me, because a lot of professional players, not just basketball players, a lot of professional players are getting ripped off by their accountants.
Right.
because those guys didn't know about finances when they were younger. So it's more so about translating and going into a different lane, but you're getting to the same destination.
Yeah. Wow, that's huge, man. Because a lot of guys are just stuck, and they just keep going and like they're not going anywhere. They think they're going somewhere, but they're not going anywhere. So I like how you said that. You could just change lanes. You can back off. You can fall back. It's not giving up. You're not giving up. You're just switching lanes to something else. And the skills, the work ethic, the determination, the willpower, the dedication, like I said, all that stuff can be translated into being a physiotherapist, to being a real estate agent, to being a podcaster. So those are all transferable skills. So you can be pro in your field. So I love everything that you said today. This was nothing but value, quality. You're polished. So how can people out there get a hold of you? How can they start working with you today? What's your Instagram? Plug your information for us, please.
Oh, wow. Okay. First off, before I even give out my information to the public for potential physiotherapy services, and not just that, just to generally get to know me.
Right.
I am quiet, but I do like to have conversations.
Right.
I do like to have an intellectual conversation with people and just to get to know their experiences. And I do like to get to know people better too, as well, not just from a physio perspective, but just in general. So,
Right.
So with that being said, my Instagram is Caesar, CAESARWW7.
Right.
Email is WILL at teampushpounds.com.
Right.
And even, we live in a social media world. Instagram, Team Push Pounds, you'll see all of us on there. You could even Google Push Pound Sport Medicine.
Right.
Then you could see the phone number for the East York location as well too.
Right.
And I also so those are some avenues where you could get a hold of me or get a hold of us as well too. And also I just want to just shout you out. shout you out, Marcel. You've been my brother for about 15-16 years.
Thanks.
When you asked me to be on this podcast, I was truly blessed. Thank you, because I'm scoring rapidly. So for having me a part of your vision, I really appreciate it.
Thanks, brother. It means a lot to me.
And for you going out your way just to share people up, enlighten them, teach them, stimulate them goes a long way.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know, but this guy was actually my host when I was on recruiting visit at Acadia University when he played at Acadia for a bit.
That's right.
So we're going back from Toronto to Wolfville, Nova Scotia. Who would have thought? But so thank you for what you do in the community. You being a social worker in your field too.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
And finding time to do a podcast to stimulate the youth and stimulate adults and just people in general. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Honestly, man, I'm truly humbled. That means a lot to me, man. Sincerely, it's been honestly one of the best relationships, friendships that I've had. Truly, honestly, a genuine person. I learned so much from you. Let's keep growing. So I'd like to wrap this podcast up. We had William Caesar. He is next up. And I'm not afraid to say it. He's going to be the best physiotherapist in the game. And you heard it here today on this channel. So for those of you out there, this is episode 7. This is just the beginning. So remember, subscribe to the channel. Click the like button. And also get that notification bell going. So when a new podcast drops, it's right in your inbox. Okay? So thank you again. Truly, truly humbled that you came on because you got so much going on, a lot of clients you're working with, and you're changing the world. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. God bless you, man. And thanks again, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me. Truly an honor. Appreciate it.
Thank you.